Hello, my art-loving friends. I have a delightful box that was sent to me by a friend full of watercolors and other goodies that I have had for quite a while, the middle of October. And I have pulled them out several times and looked through everything in there, but I have not gotten to play with them yet, and that is what we're going to do today. It's going to be so much fun. In addition to that, we might as well try out these Kamui brushes that were sent to me also a very long time ago, probably in August. So it's just going to be a fun watercolor and art supply day. I am going to keep you in suspense for a minute about what's inside the box while we look at these brushes. I did kind of show these to you in my favorite art supplies video, showing you the ones I use, and these were new ones I mentioned. Anyway, I haven't opened these except to show the fact that these are screw-on instead of snap-on. And yes, they do have sizing in them, although that was pretty easy to break. So we have a round size 8. Let's move the box for a moment, even though I know you're probably dying to see what's in the box, just like I am. I kind of know what's in there. It's just been a long time since I've actually gotten to pull everything out and play with it. Okay, a cat's tongue, size 8. And a little bit of sizing in it, but not enough that you can't just kind of massage it with your fingers, which can be dangerous to do. You don't want to do that with all brushes because it can break some of them, but this was pretty gentle sizing. Now we have a flat 6. These definitely feel like natural hair brushes. They have a full belly. What's the last one? Let's see what this last one is. It's little. Oh, very little. This one is a round size 2. Since I was able to pretty much break all the sizing with my fingers just super gently, I don't think I need to run these under the sink. Usually I run them under an external sink so it doesn't get that glue in my water, but for today, since they're all pretty well broken up, I'll just kind of swish them in the water and lay them on my rag here. And they should be ready to go. Let's see what's in the box of goodies. This is the fun part. Oh my goodness. She will often package things up that she's no longer using or wanting and send to me, and I'm so grateful because it is just incredibly fun. First things, Breville Create-A-Color Aquagraph Colors Pocket Set. So here we have some water-soluble graphite pencils, it looks like, and we'll try everything out in this video in a minute. We have a very chunky, I guess just probably graphite pencil. I'm thinking we should just try everything as it comes out of the box. Let's do that instead. I have 2 surfaces I want to try everything on here. I have my Caddy Fat book. I've done almost nothing in. Just haven't had time to play with it. So we'll try this surface for these things, and then I have a non-cotton Pentel Aqua Journal, which is often fun to try things on as well. As you can see here, I have tried a few things. Let's try both these surfaces and see how they compare and contrast to each other. First thing first, the Aquagraph. This is blue, green. I didn't really want to swatch like this. I kind of wanted to do something more of painting style and just kind of make it all work, but I don't know what these look like at all. So I guess getting a little bit of these out at first would be good. Obviously the white did not show up there. Let's try this little cat's tongue brush. That's kind of fun. Oh wow. So that had more color than I expected. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, just I guess slightly less color, less pigment, more subtle. I don't know. So that one must be the red. This is the brown. And the white, which you can't even see. So that's what it looks like on that paper. Let's try it on the Cotton Caddy book over here. The blue. Ooh, it's way softer on this. I'm trying to do this in the same order I did over there, but I didn't really pay attention to my order over there. Green, teal. I assume I did the red next. We won't do the white and the brown. Let me put these next to this so you can see them side by side here. Caddy paper has an interesting texture to it. I think you're probably seeing that come through on these swatches. The water on the brush is also not going as far. It is sinking in faster, which is probably helping to create some of that texture look. I do like the way it looks on this paper though. Those are fun. It could be really fun for little touches here and there. And then just this regular, I'm going to put this right over the white we have here. Ooh, that's a very hard pencil. So whatever this is, it's a very hard lead and it's over the white. Here's it not over the white. I think you can probably hear how stiff this is. I like it. Be super easy to draw detailed things with because of its stiffness. Next we have Faber-Castell brush pen. I've used these before and the Faber-Castell are some of my favorites. Very fun, very straightforward. We also have a medium 0.7, nice thick size. And then I love, love, love these brush pens in color. It's a Faber-Castell dark indigo. Nice, just out of curiosity, because these are movable with water for a moment. That's kind of fun. That's on the cotton paper. Let's see how well it can move if we catch it with water almost right away on this paper. Didn't catch it soon enough. I had a little trouble snapping the lid into place and it took me a minute to get to it. But these are India ink, waterproof India ink, so I didn't expect it to be movable for long. What color is this? Warm gray. Very buff titanium looking on this paper. Same on that. Just curious if it will go over graphite. No, but it picks some of the graphite up. I have a few of these, and this is a color I don't have for sure. I probably have the dark indigo, but I'm not sure. And then we have this wax resist stick, which I actually have one of these in my always to go kit for class. Hang on, I'll just show you. This here is the so-called pencil case. I showed on my favorite art supplies video. I take this to my college classes I teach every week, and see, here is mine. Mine's broken in half. This one is nice and one piece still. Mine's a little bit melted because this sits in my vehicle. Sometimes it got hot and melted a little bit, but still works. All right, let's see what's in this box from the box of goodies. Oh yeah, a glass dip pen. I have used these on my channel before. I received one as a gift that I think is slightly greener or maybe multicolored, and I used it in Inktober a lot and it worked really well, and this I think is exactly the same thing. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't have ink out or handy, so we won't try this yet, but I'll put it in the shelf of things to get to try later. I think that'll be super fun. Or we could water down a lot of watercolor and see if we could try it. Maybe we'll do that still. Now the kind of crazy stuff. Crystal watercolor. Okay, this has never even been opened. So I use Brusho. I wouldn't say a lot, because if I used it a lot, you'd see it on my channel a lot more, but I do use it in my college classes sometimes just for fun, and I have used it on my channel a few times. I may even have a Brusho playlist, even though there's probably only 1 or 2 videos in there. If so, I'll link that for you in the corner in the description box below. But basically, powdered watercolor. This stuff can be extremely fun, extremely unpredictable, and kind of, I want to say, dangerous to use, just because you use it and then you think you clean it all up and you go back to paint something normal again and you have the powder still everywhere and it gets in your new painting. It can be kind of intense. This one is turquoise, gray violet, ooh, nice, and midnight violet. Okay, so there's a couple different ways I like to use these. I like to put down a bit of water and open this. Okay, so there's no top on this, so it's best to get like a brush like this, maybe pull some out and kind of just tap it onto your spot with water. I didn't get very much. I was being very conservative like that. If I take a little bit on the edge of the water and get some more water and blend, you can see exactly how crazy intense these powdered watercolors can be. Look at that. It's pretty insane. Like that was barely any powder and I could just pull this color out and use it basically feels like forever. So when you're using this with my Brusho, I just have a thumbtack in the end and I kind of use it like a salt shaker. This one, I could probably do the same thing in this lid if I wanted to, but when you use it, make sure you put this lid back on right away, because if you happen to accidentally knock it over, oh, it's gonna be a bad day for you. Oh, I guess we should try this on the other paper though, huh? At least compare and contrast. Light is not helping. Now that I got this brush wet too, it's the one I was pulling color out from. Get a puddle. This is dry paper. We'll use one of these other brushes that's still dry. And shake the powder off. And kind of get some going. Not very much. Let me just pull some out. Oh boy. Woo! That was way too much. Because I stuck a wet brush in the jar, which is probably a really bad idea. That's okay. But I think you can see how it flows in water and would just go forever. So that was the turquoise. Another thing you can do, I don't know if we can successfully shake a tiny bit. Oh yeah, a bunch is coming. Yikes. This is gonna be a mess. And then you get a squirt bottle, which I do keep in that carrying case I just showed you, and you can squirt it and activate it like that, which is kind of fun. So this is supposedly gray violet, but I think you can see here that it has a bunch of different pigment colors in it to make up that color. So if I actually just get some and activate it, you would have to stir it up to get that gray violet color to actually be gray violet, because it's made up of so many different pigment particles, which is part of the fun of Brusho and crystalline watercolor like this, because it is very much a separated pigment, which is fun because you'll get all these separate colors if you don't mix it up like I'm doing right here, and it creates a lot of interest. So that is the gray violet, except you can see it's made up of a lot of yellow. How fun is this? I'm gonna put this in with my Brusho, why not? My favorite thing to do though is to have the puddle of water. So now I have powder here real quick. I was gonna put water here, but if I put water here, I have this powder out here. So I'm gonna blow on it. Now put a puddle down and put a puddle down on this other one. This other paper takes a lot more water. And just kind of tap a little out if that's even possible. This is a little bit thicker particles. They're bigger particle size than the Brusho I usually use. So that's what this one looks like, with just a little bit of powder brushed out, or shaken out, I guess. Let me get a little more. Oh, that is way more than I want. I got distracted because the cat walked across. But hey, we have enough powder here to really test this out over here too. Oh wow. What was that color called? Midnight Violet. Okay, that's absolutely beautiful. And we have enough powder of that to last a couple lifetimes over here. Neat. It almost looks like it scratches this paper. I don't think it is actually scratching it. It's just the pigment separation, but it's so pretty. I really like the way it soaks into this cotton paper over here. Well, that's fun. We gotta blow the powder away, and then I'll have to clean the desk or it's going to just be on the desk all this time. Last thing in that box is this whole baggie full of watercolor and water media type products. Let me pull these out. I'll show you what we have. We have Rembrandt. Fun, fun. This is so fun. We have Schminke, or Schminke, I don't know how you say it, but I think it's supposed to be Schminke. Daniel Smith, Sennelier. Oh goodness, more Schminke. And we have Cassine, which is something I have not tried. I'm really excited to try it. A little bit of primary white gouache, some more Sennelier. Okay, and I think the new to me things will just be these Cassine colors and these Schminke Super-Granulating colors. I think I've tried all these colors before, definitely this one for sure. Regardless, I have a little palette. We'll squeeze some of this out and try these. These Sennelier tubes are hard to open. This is where I usually grab a rag. Show you here, because it's just hard on my fingers. So I grab a rag and put around the lid instead and then turn it. That makes it a lot easier, and if that fails, then I'll run this under hot water, which will soften how it opens, basically. Chinese orange is such a cool color because it's like a burnt orange and really useful in landscapes. Okay, what beautifulness do we have here? Goodness, so many good things. All that paint is squeezed out into this cheap plastic palette. I had a bit of binder separation. I'll talk about that later. We'll probably all forget. That's the Cassine. Anyway, let's start. Actually, let's start with the Cassine. Why not? So Cassine paint is a water-based paint made from milk protein or casein that is mixed with an alkali like borax or ammonia. It's a strong binder that adheres pigments to the surface it is painted on. And we still have binder coming out here. Lovely. It has a flat matte finish. It's non-toxic. It's great for faux finishing solutions such as washes, sponging, ragging, whatever all that is. Murals, dries to an even consistency, so it is ideal for murals. Works well as an underpainting for other painting techniques such as oil painting, and it dries to a water-resistant finish, so you can paint over it with watercolors or gouache. So the brand here is Richardson Cassine, the Shiva Series J, so maybe it's like Jackson's Art? Nope, Jack Richardson, duh, that's what the Richardson means. I'm not very familiar with this. So cadmium orange, series 4, light fastness 1. It has a number, but I don't see pigment information on this tube. 37 milliliters. Duh, pigment is right here. Of course, it's PO20. So we'll get a little water in the brush. See what we've got going on here. Okay, so it goes on to me like the shinier gouache, or like a mixture between gouache and acrylic is kind of what it feels like to me. Then we have Rose Red, PV19 and PR122. So that one's dry enough. I need to add a little water to my brush to get it to spread. It's not reactivating the other color. Maybe it is a little bit now, but you can see it basically just covered that cad orange. Let's try it on this paper. Cad orange. I don't want to set it down because it's all wet there. Cad orange. This rose red is pretty. Oh, I got into the blue a little bit, so that's not quite its color, but mixing in with that cad orange a little bit still because it was still wet. Let's try this ultramarine blue deep. Wow, beautiful color and making a beautiful purple. So we basically have a primary there. That's a very deep yellow that we're working with, but it's still primary. Let's get a little bit more of that yellow out here. That's very watered down, but that's okay. And the ultramarine blue deep on this paper. Got too much on the brush. Here we go. If we mix that in there, we should get, yeah, really olive green. So much binder in that little sample I pulled out. I should have been a little more careful there. Yeah, very olive green. Let's mix a little bit of that with the rose red here, if I can. Drying quickly. Wow, beautiful purple. Beautiful blue. And it's a little extra thin because of that binder I have squeezed out. I didn't bother mixing that up, so it won't be that thin when it's actually mixed properly. But that purple is gorgeous. Let's make an actual green over here on this paper with this cassine. So there's some yellow. It has cadmium orange, but it looks like yellow. And the blue. Oh wow, like instantly got this beautiful olive green. Let's add a little more yellow. Okay, that's what we can do with that. Now, let's play with the Rembrandt colors. Quinacridone Red, PR207. All right, so that is this one right here. Just wondered if we could like actually make something interesting out of this page or not. PR207. So this is not the same pigment as like quinacridone coral PR209 from Daniel Smith or anything, but it's very similar in hue, it feels like to me, maybe a little bit lighter. Let's try this on the paper over here. Look, I've got resist already up there from probably my fingers or something. Yeah, so it's just a lightly pigmented coral type of red. It's pretty. And ultramarine dunkel. That's the wrong language. Next is ultramarine deep. Should be a PB29, and it is. So yes, I have this one. Wow. That seems strong, beautiful, lovely. Makes a lovely purple. I have very little pigment on there, but that's okay. Let's get some more on this page here. Yeah. Next up for the Rembrandt is indigo, which is PB15 and PBK6. Wow, that's deep, beautiful. Oh goodness. I was trying to remember. I didn't get to test Rembrandt's. I feel like I'm saying that weird. Anyway, I didn't get to test their indigo when I did my dot card painting test. It wasn't one of the options, if I'm remembering correctly. I have a feeling if it had been one of the options, it probably would have been up there with my favorites. I think I picked, I don't remember, was it Sennelier and Core? Or Holbein and Core, one of those two. Definitely the Core was one of them. And then Sennelier or Holbein for the other indigo. So I'll have to redo that test with all the indigos I now have. Next up is Sennelier's Lemon Yellow. This is a PY3, and that's right here. It's already starting to dry on me, even though it's only been a few minutes, which is interesting because Sennelier colors should have honey in them. I think my brush still had a little bit of indigo in it because this lemon yellow does not have such a green tint to it. Let's try that again. It is a cool yellow, so there is that, but there you go. That's a little bit better. Getting some powder contamination from our previous experiments. Let's mix that together. That makes a nice green. Swatching session is a little bit chaotic, but I'm having fun. I was able to pick that back up. Feels a little bit opaque there going over that red, which is fine. Sometimes I need an opaque yellow. I used an opaque yellow yesterday and I really needed it, so I was grateful to have an opaque yellow in my palette. The palette I was using was Rosa Gallery. Okay, that's pretty. Next up for Sennelier is the bright red. This is the pigment not rated. So I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty one. Normally very pretty. It reminds me a lot of a PR254. This has it's a little bit cooler than the PR254s that I really love. But there you go. And then let's get a little bit for this other paper. It's fun to see it on the two different papers. I'm having a little bit of an awkward time keeping them out of each other's way with my desk limitations, but there you go. I bet what I could do now that this page is somewhat dry is just slip this under here. That would help a lot. Next up, Chinese orange, PY150, PR209, and PBR23. So that's probably where it's getting its little burnt orange from, is that PBR23. Fun color though. It's kind of like a Quin Gold with orange tint to it. In the camera it looks very much oranger than a Quin Gold, but trust me, maybe when the glare isn't on it. Still looks it is a lot oranger than Quin Gold, but still, that's what it reminds me of. That PBR23 just makes that beautiful orange. Like I said, it's a beautiful orange for landscapes. Next up, one of my favorite colors, Payne's Gray, PV19, PB15:1, and PBK7. Put that in the middle. Why not? Not the same paint, but that's okay. Brand, that is. That's a pretty Payne's Gray. Get some more over here. Oh yeah. Now the Schminke colors. This is exciting. Some are super granulating, some are just their regular colors. I'm excited about them all. Tundra Blue. Oh my goodness, the text on this is so teeny tiny. I mean, these are teeny tiny tubes to start with. And the text is tiny to match. This is PB29 and PBR7. Let's see how it looks in the palette here. Oh, pretty. Put that one here. Oh, goodness sakes, I love it. I love it. It makes me feel good. This color makes me feel good. Try it on this paper. Oh, had a little purple pigment powder right there, so that is not part of this color. That little red purple tint you may have seen real briefly there. Oh, this color is so pretty. It's like a navy blue with, I don't know, it's beautiful. With like purple, I don't know, it's gorgeous. Wow, I love it. Okay. Hey, don't walk on that. Oh, walk around, walk around. There you go, sleepy fluffy kitty. Next up is Payne's Gray Bluish. I don't think I have this one. It's one I wanted. I'm so excited. I'll have to go see. I actually looked, hang on. I actually looked for my Schminke palette before this video and I couldn't find it, which means it's in the drawer of things I'm supposed to get to because I must have had something in progress on that palette. Anyway, that drawer is really deep, really full, and I didn't want to dig through it. But I'm pretty sure this Payne's Gray Bluish is a new color for me. I'm so excited when I do actually dig out this palette to add all these new colors because I think almost all of these colors are new to me. So this is very exciting. Pigment information on this is very tiny. PB. Anyone have a magnifying glass? What is that number? Let's see if we can use my phone as a magnifying glass here. Hey, that worked. PBK6, PB15:6, and a PB15:2. I have not heard of :6s and :2s on the PB15, so it's new to me. Here we are. Payne's Gray Bluish. So I'm assuming it's gonna lean kind of indigo. Oh, pretty. Get a little bit stronger bit going here. Nice. So when I get my Schminke palette out and we play with that again here on the channel, I will have to compare this Payne's Gray Bluish to their indigo. See how different it is. Definitely has different pigments in it. What do you guys think of it? Do you like it? It really soaks in over here on the Cotty paper. Having to use a lot more to get it Not even as dark, but darker. I like it. I think it's beautiful. All right, when I opened this one, I think it was brand new, maybe never had been opened, and it exploded on me. See, it's here and here, so I'm gonna have to scoop that up into a half pan. I don't wanna waste any of this because this is valuable stuff here. This is the Yintico Red. Yintico Red. Let's see if we need a magnifying glass for this one. We shouldn't, because I think the pigment is just Yintico. That stands for yttrium, indium, titanium, and cobalt. There's a quiz on that later, okay? So let's see what this looks like. Should we use this one? Probably. All right, I can tell already. Very hard to activate. It is going to dry quickly in the palette as well, which is not a bad thing. I have seen a couple people use this, but it's been a while. Oh, it's a soft blush pink and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, ready for the cotton paper? Oh, look how pretty. I love this color. Oh, I'm so glad I finally get to try out these paints. They've been taunting me from my corner of the desk over there for, well, since the middle of October. All right, next up, Schminke Violet. Violet. Oh, that's the first language. It is just violet in English. Okay, PV23. I like violets. I don't know why, but I do. I know, I just like color, period. Okay, okay. Here we are. Schminke Violet. Let's put it over by this other violet. Wow, this cellulose paper is got a lot of resist spots on it, probably from where my fingers were. Really accepted the oils from my fingers and it's like, no, you cannot paint here. Okay, that's the cellulose paper. Let's try the cotton paper. I have some unmixed on my brush. I don't want that because it causes problems. Oh my goodness. Okay, I must have really had it way more activated over here. Or, you know, the big glob on my brush just activated. One or the other, or both. Wow. Okay, so the Yintico Red is pushing into the violet, so it's a pushier color than the violet. Good to know. Let's just get a little bit more over here just to play. No, this paper just doesn't want to accept this color very well. Not like the cotton paper. What a mess we have. I wonder if we could even turn that into anything. Probably not. Last for the Schminke colors. Oh, Shire Gray. I can't wait to see this one. Has a big warning on it. This is PY159, PB74, and PBK11. It's got PBK11 in it. Granulating. Let's see how this activates. That was a lot of water, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it. Doesn't like to activate quickly. I have hardly any space left over here. Okay. I have a feeling if I had a bigger swatch that would activate, or excuse me, separate beautifully. Let's add some water to it. Oh, that's going to be contaminated. That's not going to be a true thing because I had the powder obviously from this sample in it. So let's try this over here. We'll just put some water down. Get some more water in the brush too. Get some of this going. And paint it on over here. This should be kind of a fun color once it dries. And then let's paint some on dry paper down here. Oh, I got into the purple, so we're not really going to be able to tell. But I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing on this page, is mixing things about. See, mixing is fun. Okay, so I had quite a bit squeezed out in this palette and used it all up just for these two little swatches. So there's that. Doesn't go very far. I didn't have that much squeezed out, but I had some. Okay, we'll let that dry and see what that looks like. So one we skipped was Daniel Smith's Buff Titanium. Don't know why I skipped it. Probably because I've used it a lot before. So I thought that we'd try the others first. Okay, there you go. Mixed with some red powder because I have a lot of that on there. put some of that over here. Still some of the red powder in it. Okay, the red tinge is not part of this color, just so you're aware. There you go. There's more of the accurate color over here. Daniel Smith's Buff Titanium is quite a nice one. I really enjoy Buff Titanium too. I love having so much of it because I am going to use it in some mixed palettes. I'm going to do a fully light fast palette here someday soon. Anyway, someday soon. In the next 10 years. No, I don't know. Hopefully sooner than that. Hopefully in the next 6 months. And I have, whoops, I just dropped more water in there. Well, that'll be interesting. We'll see what that looks like. What was I saying? I'm going to put Daniel Smith's Buff Titanium in that palette. All right, the only thing we haven't tried now is the gouache. This is the Shinhan, right? Correct. Shinhan's Primary White should be PW6. Yep, PW6. Great for highlights. This would be a fun one to put in a palette too because of highlights. Let's try it. I have a kind of a big brush here, but let's... Wow. Ooh. Ah. Look how pretty this has turned into. Thunder blue, that granulation coming through. It's so pretty. All right, let's try this Shinhan stuff over here. Let's see. Yeah, we can do it here, I guess. Wow. Cover up our seams. That's fun. Get some more going. Nice. Let's mix some in here. Make a little foggy spot. Oh, that makes a really pretty lavender. If you want to know how to make lavender, there you go. Well, the lavender I think of, not the blue lavender that the world tends to think of. Actually, I think real quick, we should probably finish this page off with something because we need to finish the page. I don't know what else to say. So let's get some more color and just at least take this design or whatever this is over to the edge of the page. Actually, we don't need more dark. Ooh, that Payne's gray mixed with that red sure is pretty. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. What other colors do we have? Oh, I wasn't gonna put more dark color over here. There I go, dipping into the indigo. That's Rembrandt's indigo. What other color should we use over there? Probably yellow. Yeah, yellow's good. Is everything a little closer? Pigment powders are sure interesting, aren't they? That Tundra Blue, the Shire Gray, Indigo Red. And over here on the caddy paper, here's the Shire Gray. It has really soaked into the grains of this paper, but I do think you can see some of the granulation up there near the top right here. Plus, look at this blue and the indigo red. It's so pretty. Oh, I love that. So many of these colors are just so pretty. Look how that orange has really just, I don't know, it's popped out of the page, especially if you look at it over here on the cellulose paper. All the colors just seem a little bit brighter on the cellulose paper, in a sense, in a way. Definitely soaks into this caddy paper. Well, that was my box of goodies. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We have so many fun things coming up on this channel, partly because of this box now too. Huge list of fun watercolor things to do. We have pigment powder to play with. I love Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens. We definitely need to play with those some more. Some watercolors that are new to me. Lots of Schminke ones. I think if I have Chinese Orange in Sennelier, or Sennelier, it is the student version. So this is the professional version. So I'll have to dig that palette out and we'll have to go through that. Plus I am super excited to try a whole painting or 2 or 3 or 4 with casein. So all of that is coming up. So if you're not subscribed with the notification bell turned on and you want to know when those videos are going to be released, make sure you do that down below the video. and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and thank you to the person who sent me this lovely box. It's so exciting. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. We have a Metropole. Feels like forever. And that was off screen. Great, sorry about that. Of course that wants to spew out because that's what they do. Daniel Smith is good at that. You open the lid and it's like, hey, I'm out of here. You gave me freedom, I'm gonna take advantage of it. Yeah. My goodness, you didn't go red. Oh, that exploded everywhere. I bet you could hear that. That's everywhere. I'm gonna have to scoop that into a pan. Anyway, Daniel Smith's Buff Titanium. I couldn't say that.